forward and like the progress of this week. So one of those is probably going to change and push a little bit. Like we might get all the way through 532 today, we might not. But I actually want to circle back to what we were doing yesterday real quick to look at those expressions and comparisons. So on your 526, sorry, that's still 531. Or no, I want 531. That's where I'm trying to go. We had like these situations about Myra and Dahlia. And then I don't think we did this one together about Diana and Hyro. We did do Diana and Hyro? Yeah, that's what I thought. So let's take a moment and review what we were doing yesterday because we need to be able to do this sort of stuff today before we get into that lesson. So this is where like this week is probably going to slow down a little bit. I've told you guys like all I'll ever do is slow down. I won't speed up, at least not for this class because we don't really. There's no reason to speed up extra fast. One lesson a day is our goal, and it's okay if that doesn't happen. So I don't think this is on your handout. At least I don't think so, right? Yeah. So on your graph paper that you always have every day because that's always needed, and I shouldn't need to keep putting it on the start slide because it should be a habit, just like filling in your plan book, which here's your chance. If you didn't fill in your plan book yesterday, do it now with at least what the plan is. That doesn't mean it'll stick as being the plan, but as of now, that's the plan. Now, again, these are two different situations. I want you guys to try to write the two different sets of things that we could say from these situations. So if I was you, I would make it really obvious on our paper that there's like two different situations happening here. We're going to do one, and then I put like a line, or maybe put a box for the one and a box for the other. So you don't have to copy the words that they have. But what we end up writing on our paper should say the same thing, but with like math symbols, right? Letters, equal signs, addition, subtraction, some numbers maybe. Bethany? So take like a minute or two, see if you can get these written down, and like if it just tells you Diana has $16, that's probably a pretty straightforward thing to write, but we want to write that down mathematically. Go for it. And you can chat with your neighbors if you think they might be able to help you. Hyro. Hyro is how you'd say that. I just wanted to get rid of that extra text at the bottom. All right, pretty quiet, so apparently we don't need help from our neighbor. Ashley, what would I write down for this part? Yeah, because it makes sense to use the variable d for Diana. And if they tell us she has 16, d equals 16. Guys, by the way, if you're going to make a fancier one, you can't just put the top on it. You got to put the bottom also, because then it kind of looks like a 7. You only put the top. I'm not quite sure why my smartboard pen is behaving different than it used to be. Oh, that was HDMI. That's not what I wanted to unplug. This is what I wanted to try to unplug. HDMI? High definition media input. At least I'm pretty sure. Alright, so then Eli, I'm still getting used to where I made you guys sit right now. Which, by the way, we're sitting here until we get better at doing our homework. Because it seems like when we get to choose to sit by our friends, we come in here and we just talk when we could be doing like 5 minutes of homework. Eli, how do I write this out in a mathematical sentence? J equals, for the Hiro has, twice as much money as Diana, 2 times, what'd you say? Oh yeah, because that's referencing the same Diana. So wait, so now if you get asked to figure out how much money Hiro has, you just stretch and you try to raise your hand. No, sorry, safe was moving around. Do you want to say something or do you want to?
No, I'll just receive.
Okay. Okay, Sophia has her hand now. You could do, but I mean, that's not really what the sentence says, right? Because what you would then be saying is Diana has half as much as Hiro, which is true, but we want to practice writing what they tell us. So now, Ezekiel, if we want to figure out how much money Hiro has, can we?
Yeah.
How?
So you just do 16 times 2.
Yeah, because we know D is actually 16. We can do 16 times 2. And how much does Hiro actually have?
32.
$32. All right, so now, Sam, how do I write what I highlighted in green?
D equals 16.
Oh, well, that was... You get to go again because that was too not difficult because that's the exact same as the one on the left. All right, so Sam, what about... Ooh. So we first have to start with she. Who's the she they're talking about?
Diane.
Oh. So we need to carefully realize, okay, this is now still talking about Diana. Has, so D equals.
D equals 16 times 2?
Ooh, we don't have to use the 16. And what I highlighted in yellow, do they talk about the 16?
No.
So don't try to combine too much together. If I just want to say she has, Diana has.
She has J times 2.
Yeah. 2 times J now. Crap, but do I know what J is here? No. And again, these are 2 different situations, right? We're saying this part's different than this part. So what we know is D equals 16. 16 is 2 times what Hiro has. What must Hiro have if D is 16? Don? Yeah, so now Hiro would actually just have 8. So depending on how we say things, changes a lot with, well, who has the double? Right? Who has the twice as much money? Questions on that with us being able to express things compared to each other. All right, so games we haven't had a chance to talk about. Uh-oh, I'm too far now. All right. So 5.3.2, and I forget what I put on your guys' handout paper, so you might want to pull out 5.3.2. I mean, you should have grabbed it from the back already. Yeah, I removed all of this because I gave you a separate handout. So we're going to check this out first and then start writing information on your graph paper. And then I have a handout for you. And on your 5.3.2 it says the 5D process is, right, the 5D process is, we'll fill that in a minute. We'll fill that in a minute. So, of course. Emery, would you like to read for us?
Yes.
So read about fencing the basketball courts.
Okay. Fencing basketball court. The parent club at the Post Falls Middle School needs 183 feet of fencing to go around the rectangular outdoor basketball court behind the school gym. The club volunteers will only need to place a fence on 3 sides of the court because the wall of the gym will form the 4th side. The length of the court is 32 feet more than the width. One of the shorter sides will be 5 feet shorter than the other one to leave room for the game.
So I feel like we should probably back up and start highlighting some important stuff so that when we go to draw a picture of this, it makes a little bit of sense. So, Jack, can you tell me one thing important here that we could highlight? What is 32 feet more? Yeah! So guys, on our paper, how could we write that on our paper? Take the verbal sentence, turn it into a math sentence. Jack just said the length is 32 feet more than the width. How do we write that down on our graph paper? Donnie, you want to help me out? How do we write this on our graph paper?
We can do like the width times 32 feet
Times.
plus 32 feet.
So we could do L equals, alright, I want it to be yellow, but that yellow is a little tough to see. Let's try this yellow. I don't know if that's better.
It's like mustard color.
Alright, is it better? Okay, L equals W plus 32. Right, the length is 32 more than the width. Because this should be going down on your graph paper. Probably, because I don't think this problem's on your other one. This is space for us to write about what the 5D process is. I said we'll come back to that in a minute. Lane, feel better soon. If you watch this video, yeah, I'm going to leave a code word at the end of the video, somewhere near the end of the video. If you watch the video and come back to school and tell me the code word, you get a piece of candy. Sophie, what else could I highlight? Ooh, one of the shorter sides will be 5 feet shorter than what? Than the other. Guys, what if I have like this picture up here? What would I probably be labeling this side? Yeah, that one's probably going to be our length because like it's longer than the width. Okay, so what could I label this side? The width, right? So this is our width, and then the one is shorter to leave room for what? Oh, so then this side, like right here, which actually I might change this from being green because I use green for that. I'll make this purple up here. So this is our full width, and then this is the width minus 5. And we know the length is actually W plus 32. Okay. We got a lot going on so far. Devin, anything else that we feel like should be highlighted? At least important to note before we start trying to solve this?
The volunteers only need 3 sides.
Ooh. Our quote-unquote rectangle is only going to actually be 3 sides. I lost it. There it is. Because the other side has the building on it. So this side doesn't need a fence. Bethany, anything else important enough to highlight? Yeah, and the total of our fence is 183 feet. All right. Dive in. Start trying to figure out what each side of the fence measures to use up all of the 183 fence and do each of the things that they've told us. I'm going to give you a minute on your own and then give you something that might help. You could draw a picture, kind of like what I have up there. This must have been yesterday. At least no one asked me for it this morning, but thank you. I hope you wrote down what you needed to because it's about to get covered up and you've had plenty of time to do it. When you have a free moment, the 5D process that we were about to learn and only probably do today is algebra for beginners. And CRP, what do you think RP means?
Rest of page.
The what page?
Rest of page.
I can't understand the word you're saying. It's resource page. RP means resource page. Check out the front of this page, which you'll have to turn sideways to be able to see. Seems like it make doing math harder to be writing those big fat words.
Why not the rest of the page?
What do you mean?
Rest of the page.
Because resource page, because this didn't fit on your homework page. All right, look at your resource page I just gave you. If you had not drawn a picture yet, here's a picture for us. We've got the long side is 32 feet longer than the width. So we should probably actually start labeling stuff that we had. I might try to copy colors. Width, I had written in purple. So now this picture is a little different direction. But we're going to call this side the width. And then this longer side, I think I used yellow, but I'm not going to be able to use yellow up here. Can I help you? Because what you're doing is really distracting to me trying to teach. This side has the 32 feet extra, so we said we're going to talk about that as, well, we called it L, but then we said L equals W plus 32. And then this side over here with the missing for the gate, yeah, width minus 5. Width minus 5. So down here, side 1, this is actually our W. Side 2, what are they doing?
Basically with minus 5.
Yeah, this side 2 is actually our width minus 5. And this side 3,
L equals, yeah.
it's the length, but really we said the length is W plus 32. Now guys, if we've made it this far in the school year and you don't yet know that I'm a super opinionated person, hi, my name is Micah. I'm super opinionated.
Oh, no.
I think the 5D process is stupid. I'm not joking. I think the 5D process is a waste of your time because it's part of the content. I'm supposed to teach it, and I follow orders from my bosses because I like my job. So I'm going to teach this to you, and if you like it, you're allowed to like it. You can have your own opinion. But I'm here to tell you it's going to take you longer than just learning how to do algebra. Because here's what's happening in this 5D process. Whoever set this up doesn't know how to do algebra. And before you walk out of here, you're going to know how to do algebra. What they're doing is a guess and check process of saying, okay, what if I make the width 10? What would this side be? Well, what's 10 minus 5? 5. If I made the width 10, what is this side going to be? Well, 10 plus 32, 42. If I add all the sides together, did I use up all the fence? No. So our guess there was too small. Womp. So what do I do if my guess was too small? Make my guess bigger. So now I guess, what if I make the width 20? Okay, well then this side still take away 5. This side still add 32. Add them all up. Are we even close? So, anyone got us? Ooh, where'd my cards go? Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself about. Sophia, what do you want us to guess next? 50? Dang, Sophia's taking the jump. All right, so if we make the width 50, what are we doing in this column? 45. And then over here, hey, this is a safe place to make mistakes. Keep your judgments to yourself. 50 plus 32?
82.
You might need to grab a calculator there in the back of the room now. Ooh, we're going to be close. I don't think it's going to work out because I think 5 plus 2 is 7, but we're going to be close. Somebody add this up for us. Ooh, Sophie, thank you. 177. Did we get to 183?
No.
You try your next guess on your own. I don't know how far to go up. Do we want to go up to 51? Go up to 52? Jumped up to 55? I feel like that might have been too bold.
No. I did 60.
You did 60? And
That's what I said.
what are you getting for your sum?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the numbers I need to put in there.
Remember, we're trying to use up 183 feet. We're really close. The 177 is pretty darn close. Having a bad day? Having a bad day? You figured it out? Eli's done.
Got it. What?
Oh, supposedly Sophia's done. Ezekiel, you got it? No. Oh, uh-oh. Did you find your mistake or what?
I'm so confused right now. Bro, I don't know what to put in this last
So
one.
close.
9. Didn't we try 50
No.
together? The 60 would be too big. Like, and so yeah, you would need to double check the math that was done.
Maybe 70.
Yeah. You might need a calculator. Matt, also, get better soon. Watch the video. I'll try to leave a code word at the end. Raiden, have you figured out what might work? 53? Yeah? All right, let's try this. 53. So if we make that 53, then 53 minus 5. And guys, I like to underline the numbers that I'm going to be using just to make sure that, like, oh yeah, that's the important one. 53 plus 32, 85. So 53. And does this come out?
Yeah. 186.
Yeah, this feels like it's going to be too big.
What were y'all counting?
This is 186. Hey, Safe, ratchet back that judgment. All right, Safe, what'd you get?
Also got 53.
But you're complaining that that's wrong.
Yeah, no, I just figured out what I was doing.
So you're mad at yourself? It's okay. I get mad at myself too. 186, is it too small or too big? Too big! Okay. We're really close, really close. This one's closer though. The 186. So what would you try next?
50.
God, we already did 50. I'm doing 52. take 5 away from 52. If we add 32 to 52, and then if we add all those up, finally, after 5 tries, we figured this out. No, because the back of your paper is necessary for us to try again. But we don't have to do the 5D process again. Let's try that with algebra. So hold up. Get your graph paper that you already wrote these on. The 3 sides we have are what?
47 through 8.
No. Back here, we don't know the answers yet. Carolina walked away now. I need to make sure she also goes and picks up something in the office. Jane, our 3 sides. Can you give me one of our 3 sides? Sorry, what? Like the expressions that we had for our 3 sides back here that you probably have written on your graph paper. They involve W's. It's all good. Well, I'm probably asking this poorly. Arfan, Arfan, do you know what I'm trying to get at?
The side.
Yeah, like what our 3 sides are.
Width. W.
The width.
Width minus 5.
The width minus 5.
And the length equals width.
And the width plus 32. Because why would I use another variable when I could stick with the same W on your paper? Let's write out. I'm just going to do like on your graph paper because like so we have space to work. So W plus W minus 5 plus W plus 32. And what are all 3 of those sides supposed to add up to?
183.
If you are choosing not to do this right now, I'm going to remind you of that when you come to me and say you don't know how to do your homework. If you are eating your pencil instead of writing with it, if you are not engaging in what we're doing, I'm going to tell you straight up, you chose not to learn this. This is the algebra that makes way more sense than that silly guess check process. Guys, that took us 5 attempts. And even then, we were lucky to get there after 5 because we had our whole class working on it. How many W's do... Oh, okay, first off, can I actually take 5 away from W if I don't know what W is? No, same thing here, right? So how many W's do we actually have? 3 W.
Should be 3W minus 5 plus 32.
Well, what is minus 5 plus 32? Well, what's 32 take away 5? Just anybody.
27.
27. Hey guys, remember yesterday with the boards? Like our problem with the 3 boards, and like the 3 short boards and the long board? Stick with me. If you want to draw this on your paper, feel free. What we just said is 3W plus an extra 27 will equal 183. Yesterday, with the 3 boards and the extra equaling the long board, say, what could we do now to start working things backwards? I don't want to guess check. I want to like strategically work this backwards and solve it.
So first we'll take out the 27, right?
Yeah, let's cut off this extra 27. And guys, what you could write on your paper is what we're actually doing is minus 27 minus 27. Because we're minusing 27 from both the top part and the bottom. So, okay, now we need to do 183 minus 27. I might need some calculator help from you guys.
136.
So now 3W equals 156. So this section is now 156. Come on. We can now, because we have 3 W's, and we want to break that down into just 1 W, we can divide by 3. And I am curious to walk around and see who has chosen not to write this process down.
Bro, this algebra is so much easier.
Have you written down any of what we just did? Sam, why are you making that choice? Maybe Sophia will let you copy hers since you didn't write it down when we all wrote it down.
It's so much better than like the other guessing.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So why are we gonna teach that instead of this? It's so dumb.
The same reason you're getting taught English to know that it would be taught, not teached. And in one shot, not 5 guess and check processes, in one shot, we took what they told us, created an algebraic equation, and solved it. Guys, we're better than the 5D process. It wastes your time. It works, right? Like, I don't want you to think it doesn't work. It works. It just kind of wastes your time. So, flip to the back of this paper. You'll get to decide whether you do 5D process or whether you do algebra. You are welcome to do the 5D process. Does that say for 109? Yeah. All right. Let's read up here. You can probably jump right to A. Kamal, you interested in reading? No? Ashley, any interest in reading? Fine, Amory, read A for us.
Yes. Laura takes very good for vehicles.
Care.
She owns. What's her name? Laura, some difference. Like it's literally the same. Read it. She owns a blue van, a red truck, and although she bought them both new, she's owned the truck for 17 years longer than she's owned the van. If the sum of the ages of the vehicles is 41 years old, how old is the van and how old is the truck? Oh, it is.
We've got a van, we've got a truck. And we know how old they are together. This kind of is like my wife and my vehicles because I drive a 2010 and she drives a 2023. So if I'm going to start writing this down like algebra, what are the 2 things I'm going to start with? Like the 2 things we're talking about here. What, Sophie? The van and the truck. So I'd probably write down like T equals and V equals. So truck, van. You can write this on your handout because it's on your handout.
Should we do this
Like, see the little dots that are up there, the bullet points? You can kind of put this stuff in that space where the bullet points are. It wants us to use the 5D process. I don't really want to. So then it says, although she bought them both new, she has owned the truck for 17 years longer than she's owned the van. Eli, how could I write? You're not Eli, you're Devin. Eli, how could I write that? She's owned the truck 17 years longer than she's owned the van. Yeah! So the truck is really V plus 17. So then what am I going to say about V equals? Anybody?
V equals
No. That's the trap door to say T minus 17. Now, T minus 17 would be true, but we want to work with one variable. So since we just said V over here, we want to work with V over here.
just do V minus.
So hold up. Together, the 2 vehicles are how old?
41.
So we know together they're 41. Now to put them together, how many V's do I actually have? This is just V equals V. I could make this say van equals V, and that might help you guys on your. I have two, but I have this V from the truck, and this V from the van. So we have 2V plus 17. Now you guys can do the 5V process if you want, but I bet I could solve this before you even get out of this room because it is time to leave. We will pick this up tomorrow and keep practicing 5D versus algebra. On your homework, if it says use the 5D process, you can if you want to. I will never make you.
Can we throw it away?
No, because we're going to still use the back tomorrow. Yeah, keep the resource page for the back just for tomorrow. That's also giving you a bit more space to do your work. All right, have a great day, guys.